We don't do that here.
But the queen rise to the top.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Fucking Casual. We're going to jump right back in where we left off last time.
Right around the corner is Crawford Madrimov.
That's right.
I will say one of the things, like, you know, I don't really like Saudi Arabia's what they do with sports, but I will say they put together the best competition of like top to bottom card strength up against like the UFC than any other boxing promotion does. Like that Crawford card is like legitimately stacked. Like typically in a boxing card, you'd be lucky if the co-main event is also worth watching. But there's like 4 or 5 fights that you want to tune into for that Crawford fight. And you don't typically get that outside of a Riyadh season card.
Yeah, I was going to say, with this, I plan to be there doors. I want to be in my seat for first bell. There's just way too much on this, and I don't want to miss any of it. Andy Cruz is on this. I'm really excited to see him. See how he looks.
Jared Anderson, too.
Jared Anderson versus Martin Bakoli. That's pretty solid. We'll see if Anderson is what they say he is. If he's the heir apparent to American heavyweights. I don't think so, but we'll find out.
Just the fights where, like, hey, I know I'm gonna find out something new about, you know, younger boxer. Those are so exciting to me because now it's like nut up or shut up kind of time, you know.
Yeah, like Rayo fighting Isaac Cruz. Fucking yeah. We're about to find out, young man.
Speaking of, Isaac Cruz is also on that card as a co-main. Yeah,
he's the co-main. David Morrell is fighting Hot Rod Kalachik, who is he? He's one of the types. Like, we're about to find out if you think it's not about you beating David Morrell, because it's really unlikely based on what I've seen of Hot Rod, but nonetheless, we're gonna see if you can hang with the top dogs here. Oh man, Andy Ruiz fighting Gerald Miller. One of the heaviest fights ever.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge. I don't know where I'm going with that. I was trying to make a joke and I couldn't land it.
It's gonna be a huge heavyweight attraction. I don't know. I tried my best. Man, looking at this, Top Rank is on it. Who the fuck is Steve Bash? Bash Boxing. Tom Brown with TGB, of course. Eddie Hearn, of course. And Warriors Boxing. I think this is the one Cuba wanted to start getting a cut of their pro boxers' purses. So I think this is the one that they put together, rather than having their fighters defect. But there you go. That's August 3rd. Holy cow. I cannot express how excited I am for this.
Yeah, well, what are we, less than 2 weeks away?
Yep. Less than 2 weeks.
Be there in person.
Faux show. All right. The second segment of the release. Recapping the UFC Fight Night on July 20th. Where's it at? There it is. From the bottom up on the prelims, Thomas Peterson, UD over Muhammad Usman. I didn't watch this. Did you? I'm curious how Usman brother did.
Oh, he was terrible. I watched some of the replays, and he sucks.
Wonderful.
We should have known just by watching Nico Ollie Walsh in boxing that who your boxing heritage or fighting heritage is does nothing for you. But I guess we needed this as just another example of that.
Yeah, Fabian isn't great either, from the Fighting Edwards brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Ogden, UD over Loic Radzhabov. RJ alert. Luana Carolina. Beauty over Lucy Pudilova. Flyweight. Trey Ogden was lightweights. Luana Carolina flyweight. Another RJ alert. Miranda Maverick. UD over Dion Barbosa. These are also flies. Cody Gibson submits Brian Kelleher in the first. Bantamweights. That was Brian Kelleher's 40th professional fight and his 16th professional loss. So he's a journeyman for sure. And it showed. All right, into the main portion. Haider Amil, KO1 over Jung Young Lee, featherweights. Haider the Hurricane. Absolutely. I think he...
Yeah, this was an insane finish, kind of thanks to Lee's lack of head movement primarily. But, I mean, what a swarm of an end of the fight.
Absolutely. It was a hurricane of punches, you might say. It was good. But yeah, Lee was just looked like he was watching the punches come at him and didn't really do anything about it. Moving up, Duho Choi. Were you excited? As excited as you were before for him fighting Bill Algeo? Stoppage in 2. Man, poor Bill. Now his uncle is fucking somewhere on a bender.
He's no longer sober.
Nope. It was a good fight.
It's all thanks to it's the Korean Zombie's fault. That's the guy who taught Choi how to fight.
That's right.
So
what do you call him? The Korean Superboy or something like that.
Yeah. And it was funny. I was like, I didn't recognize this guy, and I was like, man, is he like some new guy? And I looked at his record, and he's apparently got a really huge UFC kind of fight history, but he's not fought in like 8 years or something like that, or maybe not that long, but like something like 6 years that he's been inactive, and I couldn't figure out what he's been doing in the meantime.
Yeah, I know they talked about it on the broadcast. They were saying that that Korean Zombie convinced him to start fighting again. But not sure why he stepped away. Wow, yeah, he was off for a while. That Bruno Silva KO2 over Cody Durden. This one was super fun. Flyweights. Cody was like in charge of the fight pretty much the whole time and was talking a lot of shit. Poked Bruno Silva's eye. He needed a little bit of time to, get himself collected to continue. He did continue, and Cody was talking shit about that. And then Bruno Silva fucking knocks him out. It was fun. It was a big
something about being a Silva and having wild, crazy knockouts.
Yeah.
Just goes together well if you're an MMA guy.
Kurt Hollabaugh, UD over Kanan Krachewski. Lightweights. Steve Garcia, KO1 over Sungwoo Choi, featherweights.
Were you able to tell if Sang-woo was related to Doohoo in any way? Because they both have the same last name, same spelling.
From what I learned when I lived in Korea, the family names are all lineage from like the original clans, and there's not a whole lot of them. So everyone's named Park, Choi, Lee. There's a few others that I'm not remembering right now, but yeah, a lot of people have the same family names. It's one of those things where when you meet someone, you kind of check the registry, make sure you're not too closely related, if at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
But Sungwoo Choi, KO. Sorry, buddy.
Knocked out badly. That was brutal.
It was. It was another. Was it another instance? If I'm recalling correctly, it was another case of just watching the punches come at you. Because Sungwoo, I remember he had solid leg kicks that were from the beginning bothering Steve Garcia, and then I don't know if he caught him with one clean, and then it was all downhill from there. All right, last one. Verna Yonderoba, rated 5th, submits 3rd Amanda Lemos, strawweights. I said in our group chat that this one was I thought it was really fun. Even though it was a lot of grappling, I found it very entertaining nonetheless. High-level grapplers with some striking mixed in. I think the Islam Poirier fight, why I was a little disappointed by it was I had set my expectations too high. Because I had no expectations for these two.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what happened. But this was a fun fight, I thought.
Yeah, it definitely helps when they're actually trying to do something with their wrestling positions, because it feels like the fight is still progressing, even if it's not punches and kicks are not being thrown. And then obviously when you have a crazy armbar like the end of this one, I mean,
absolutely,
those are always like they're almost more cringe-inducing than some of the worst knockouts you see. Like, I mean, Lemos's arm, it looked like it just completely did a 180 in the socket. Like, it just looked like it just got wrenched right out of there.
I was saying in the chat, like, I think this is I thought her arm was gonna pop out before she tapped.
Mm-hmm. It looked like it looked like she even did tap, and the referee missed it. Like, so she was in that arm bar for like 5 more seconds longer than she should have.
An example of the cringe-inducing part of it, like on the July 13th fight night, Montel Jackson got a peach of a 1-2 to finish the fight, and you get the replay and you see like the way that it shifted the other guy's jaw, and you look at that and like, well, that figures. But then seeing Jandaroba putting, goodness, the way that Amanda Lemos was like struggling to fight the armbar to get it out of position somehow, and it just wasn't. She was locked in. That arm was locked in while the rest of her was moving. I'm trying to think. It's like an insect steps into a spider web, only 1 foot, and then it tries its damnedest to get away, and then it ends up ripping off the one limb to get away. Yeah, it's like if you don't fight those submissions correctly, it is every movement you make gets worse. It gets your position worse. The choke gets deeper, the lock gets stronger. It's not good. Yeah, that's what I was looking at right there, and I was like, holy shit, this is great. I'm sorry, Amanda. It was great. It was entertaining to see you fucking lose your arm. So this was fun. I think have a strong undercard. The ladies they can carry it at the top. It's fine. Maybe just don't put Rose in these. Moving along to Friday, August 2nd. Just going to mention the top PFL 2024 season is coming to an end. We are in the semifinals of the playoffs. It's these 4 are men's heavies, women's flyweights, I believe. Tala Santos versus Liz Carmouche. Oleg Popov versus Valentin Moldavsky. This one should be fun. Dakota Ditcheva versus Jenna Bishop. R.I.P. Jenna. Dennis Goltsov versus Tim Johnson. There you go. same day, in the evening, though, in Thailand. There is... Oh, it's a one fight night card. No shit, it's in Thailand. There are only a few I really wanted to mention. The rest are on the website, luxmediashows.com. Fucking Ferrari Fairtex, fucking wonderful name. Versus Felipe Lobo, another wonderful name. That was really the only reason. Co-main, Adam Strawweight, or Adam Submission Grappling, RJ Alert, Daniel Kelly versus Mesa Bastos. Only mentioned it for RJ. I hope you enjoy that one, buddy. And the main event is Strawweight MMA, Jared Brooks, pint-sized Jason Statham versus Gustavo Ballart. Jared Brooks lost his title when he slammed his opponent onto his neck and head. So...
Disqualification loss.
Yep. Yeah, he's a fucking machine. So I kind of get how he wasn't really thinking about it. He didn't mean to do it, but it happened, and they had to stop it because of that. The guy who he was DQ'd against lost. They fought, I think, twice before, so it's a bit of a history between them. So I hope they do it again. Moving on to August 3rd, Fight Night.
I just realized this card was on Crawford Night. I'm a little upset. I'm not gonna be able to watch this live, but oh well.
We could put it on ESPN Plus afterwards.
Yeah, we definitely should. This card is actually amazing. This is actually a really good Fight Night card.
The prelims are also pretty good, just from when I was putting it down. Starting from the bottom, Cedric Dumas, fucking ruining your own name, buddy, versus Dennis Tiululin, middleweights. Jai Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya, lightweight. Victoria Dudakova, RJ Alert versus Sam Hughes, straws. Kind of a little surprised they're having a women's fight. Maybe they're going to have the modified attire.
What, they're both gonna be in burkas?
No, they're going to be skin tight fucking tarps. The woman, I think they wear like wrestling singlets that cover the whole body, including the shoulders and arms. Oh,
I see.
Yeah. Abdul Karim Al Salwadi versus Guram Kutateladze. I did that one great. Go me. Lightweights, Shamil Gaziev versus Dantel Mays. Heavyweights, Mohamed Yahya versus Kawe, I think that's right. Fernandez. Lightweights, Alonzo Menefield versus Azamat Murzakanov. Light heavies. That's your prelims. Starting the main portion, Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner. Lightweights. Oh, man. Fucking 7th rated Mackenzie Mrs. Leo Dern versus 10th Lupi Godinez. Strawweights, Tony Ferguson. This makes me sad every time I see his name. Every time.
But I mean, if he is going to fight, this is probably the type of opponent I say that, but right before he gets knocked out again. But Michael Chiesa is his opponent, and he's kind of feels like he's been perpetually relegated to like journeyman status, but every fight he has is amazingly entertaining. And there will definitely be moments for Tony to potentially capitalize on his recklessness.
Okay, well then that gives me a little bit of hope for Tony.
I'm trying to be white-pilled, man. Like, I don't want to see Ferguson die again.
As long as the ref steps in on time and doesn't end up like King Bobby Green.
Yeah, I mean, there is a real chance that he just gets flying kneed in the first 30 seconds. But I'm going to choose to believe that won't happen.
Well, number 4 at bantamweight, Marlon Vera versus number 6, Davison Figueiredo.
Such a good fight.
I'm very excited for this one.
This is a really great step up for Figueiredo in this division. Like, keep moving steadily towards the top, but he's against a guy that's gonna try and strike with him, and Vera is gonna be tailor built for Figueiredo to show off his skills here. But he's still going to be a live body, so this is still going to be an entertaining back and forth, because Vera could absolutely still win this fight.
Yeah,
he's got a very big size advantage on Davidson, so it's going to be tough.
That's kind of what I was taking from it, was like Vera's looks, I don't know, he looks kind of like how he fights, really scrappy, rugged, and yeah, if you don't come correct, like Davidson's going to find out really quickly. He's going to feel the size advantage first. But I was saying that I think I'm more excited for this than the main event.
Ooh, that's actually kind of a hot take, but
is it?
Okay.
Oh.
Well, this very well could be a more exciting fight than the main event. So, but I think the main event could be a really, really high level fight.
Might be that I'm not too familiar with Nurmagomedov. I don't think I've seen him fight before.
And he's I think he's a cousin of Khabib. But let's hit the co-main first, and then we'll kind of break down that main event.
So this was a late replacement. Luque Diaz got pulled. Shara Magomedov, aka the evil leprechaun from Luck of the Irish, versus Mikhail Alexijuk, middleweights, just out of nowhere. How much time notice was this?
This is going to be about 2 weeks. Yeah, by the time this fight happens, but a 2-week turnaround. And then he will be about a month out from the last time he fought. So he's still probably pretty close to in fight shape.
Yeah, only had a little. If he took time to rest, it hasn't been that much. But there you go. That's the middleweight fight. Just fun. This was good to put this together. How it came together as quickly as it did. Not quite 3 hours notice, but still.
If it works out like the UFC's hoping and Shara wins, I mean, they are fast tracking this guy to UFC stardom. Like, this is a really good opportunity for him to really leave an impression on fans.
Yeah. Now, main event: Corey Sandhagen, second at bantam versus number 10, Umar Nurmagomedov. I haven't seen him fight before. 17-0. I don't know why I haven't seen him fight, to be honest with you. I might have, and I don't remember.
Well, there is a very good reason. It's because Umar is like the king of the pullout. Like, I'm sure the guy has 0 kids in his entire life, because no one pulls out like Umar. I don't know how many it's been now, but he's had a bunch of fight cancellations in the last couple of years, and he's really struggled to get in with actual step-up elite competition. And it seems like if everything holds up, he'll get his first like real test against Corey Sandhagen. So the intrigue for me in this fight is like twofold. If Umar is as elite as some people think he is, then him and Sandhagen should be a really awesome fight, because Sandhagen, he's a really great striker, but he's also really good on the ground. Like, he caught a lot of flack in, I think, his last couple fights, because he's been leaning toward more of his wrestling to neutralize, a couple of his opponents, which, is not nearly as enjoyable as him piecing people up on the feet. But the fact that he has that versatility is like, it's pretty rare in MMA. You don't see too many people that can do both extremes really well. But because of that, we also, there's a potential for a fraud check here, right? We've not really seen Umar tested. We think he's good. The eye test says he's good. But, like, he also could just be, like, a bit of a dud. And seeing that fraud check happen on his home turf as the main event has a lot of, like, meme potential, in my opinion. So I'm really intrigued to see how this fight goes on. I really want to figure out what this guy's about.
So this year he fought in March, first weekend of March. Before that, he had not fought since January of 2023. Uh, is I think that's before we ever started the show. So yeah, he has not fought the entire time that I've been watching MMA.
Yep.
Fun. That's probably why I'm more excited for Vera Figueiredo, but hopeful.
Yeah, that fight should deliver, that Davison Vera fight for sure. But I hope this one will too, and I hope this one's. I think the fact that Corey knows how to deal with wrestlers, that gives me hope that this fight will be exciting.
Yes.
And if it ends up being a fraud check where he gets completely stonewalled in the wrestling and just gets pieced up on the feet, that will still be really cool to see from Corey.
Trying to remember, I watched him fight Cheeto. That's it, because he had a long break too. Fun. This will be good. All right, you got me convinced. This isn't the worst. I'm not as down on the main event as I was. I am hoping for a little fraud check on the Dagestani boys. Like, you guys are waiting too much. It's not fair.
At least if one of them has to win, let it be the guy who has the cool glass eye.
Umar does?
Well, Shara does.
Oh, Shara has the... He's a Dagestani one as well?
Yeah.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, bro's got a V at the end of the name. He's definitely from Dagestan.
Go Madoff. Is anything else before that? And you're, I'm just gonna say you're one of the Eagle FC guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we got. There's nothing else on the calendar. After this block, though, it'll pick back up because we'll have a lot to review, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. And UFC 305 will be right around the corner after that.
True. I did just put that onto the calendar, and I was looking at it. A lot of local boys, yes, but still, it looks pretty fun.
We probably won't reconvene until the 11th because the 4th is going to be, we're going to be out that weekend.
True. Yes.
So we should have a lot to talk about by then.
Faux show. Tai Tuivasa. Junior Tafa. Man, talk about dudes that fail upwards.
Now, that's all you have to do in life is do a shoey in front of 13,000 people, and your life is set.
I was talking with some other people, like veterans particularly, who traveled throughout the Pacific during their time, and that was something that I had said. Like man, I'm always up for shenanigans. I'm up for whatever the fuck, typically, but drinking out of a sweaty ass shoe is gonna be a hard no from me. Thank you. I'll pass. It's fucking gross. One who was in Australia, I think in Perth, said that she went to a store, purchased like a child's rubber boot. I think they're called Wellingtons. Rain boots, I think, might be a better way to describe it. But carried one around, like if it was like, oh, time for a shoey or something, like, okay, here's my beer fucking shoe. Fucking miscreants.
Oof.
Yeah. I have a hypothetical for you. So we used to do this thing, mess nights, like fundraiser, little fun dinners for unit functions. And there's at the end, or not at the end, but throughout the evening, there's this thing called a grog. It's like a giant tub of just a tub, and you start pouring shit into it. Anything, any liquid. The only rule is like it has to be safe to drink, like no cleaning products or like bleach or something. So you could pour in hot sauce, pickle juice, beer, liquor, whatever you want. Then part of the fundraising is you pay X amount of dollars to elect someone to have to take a drink from the grog. The senior staff and senior officers, they have the option to buy out of it because they can't get, messy in front of the juniors or whatever. But everybody else, fair game. I had mentioned I would rather have a double shot, maybe 3 shots of grog juice, grog water, out versus drinking out of a dirty ass shoe. I don't know. What do you think? Which would you take if you had to take one?
Whose shoe? Is it my shoe or is it someone else's shoe?
I'm going to guess it is the community shoey shoe. I don't think anyone wears it, but everybody drinks out of it, and it's really gross and dirty.
Right. Oh man, I probably would do 3 shots of the grog.
Yeah.
Because there's no telling what is growing in the shoe.
I also would rather not drink fungus. Yeah, at least with the grog, like I can watch everything going into it, and it's a fresh, clean container. But yeah, no thank you on the shoeies. Sorry, guys. Welcome to join me on the grog water, though.
Yeah, let's do it. We should do grog shots after the Crawford fight.
Oh, good lord!
Can you imagine that's how Raz breaks his sobriety streak? Is on the grog water. That would be bad.
That would be rough. We are good on time. I like doing. Hey, thanks for listening again to the Ultimate Fucking Casual. Questions, comments, concerns about this episode, this podcast, or, whatever the fuck on Lux Media, 833-589-7637. You can call or text. It's anonymous either way. If you are sufficiently humorous and informative, one or the other or both, call, go straight to voicemail, and leave a message and I'll cut it in and it'll be fun. 833-LUX-PODS. We're going to be delayed coming back by about a week, given we're going to be traveling for the boxing event that we talked about up top. So there's that. Speaking of, luxmediashows.com, you can check out all the other shows, all the other shit that we get up to. You can see it there. And my very awesome fucking MMA calendar is on the website. There's a boxing one too, if you are of that persuasion as well. Otherwise, let's get back to it. That's a pair of scissors, because that's where I cut in the stuff. Parting words. What do you got?
Parting words. Holding fast. Let's get out of the dark ages, into the light.
Do I have parting words? Fucking grog water over shoes 7 days a week. But that'll do it.
A good part. Those are words to live by right there.
Yep. Don't get cranked if I wouldn't. Don't drink shoe water. Drink grog water. It's better for you. That's gonna do it for this edition of the Ultimate Fucking Casual.